Like all of you, Judy knows that a disability shouldn't stop any child from attending school, pursuing a career, and making a difference in the lives of others. In addition to 8 years of public service at the Department of Education, she's been a strong advocate for persons with disabilities. She has worked with the World Bank to ensure that it addresses disability issues in its work in countries throughout the entire world. Today, she's the director of the Department of Disability Services in the District of Columbia. Her work and her dedication are reminders of the power of determination and the time-honored truth that disabilities alone do not define us, or our work, or our worth as human beings. Students like Caitlin and Kathleen, and adults like Judy, show us that disabilities are not destiny. The work that all of you do, as special education leaders and teachers, is so extraordinarily important for our students and for our society as well. Children no longer have to fight to be enrolled in school. People who use wheelchairs no longer need to sue simply to have their job application considered by public school districts or other employers. And students like Kathleen are contributors to school communities, learning with peers, teaching peers important lessons about respect and self-confidence and friendship and the real meaning of values. These are civil rights victories absolutely worth celebrating. But we haven't fulfilled the promise of education for students with disabilities. The struggle for equal opportunity in our nation's schools and universities did not end with the passage of IDEA or at the foot of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. We will work with schools, school districts, and states to enforce laws to ensure that all children, no matter what their race, gender, disability, or national origin, have a fair chance at a good future. We will make sure ESEA doesn't lose track of these students, who in many cases are making significant progress. The data shows us that we are getting better, but we must get better faster. In 2007, nearly 60% of students with disabilities graduated from high school with a regular diploma, compared to just 32% 20 years ago. And a third of students with disabilities were enrolled in post-secondary education, up from just 1 in 7 2 decades ago. More adults with disabilities are employed than ever before. By just about every measure, students with disabilities are better educated today than they were a generation ago. But while America can justly celebrate those successes, we have a long way to go before we can think about resting on our laurels. The graduation rate, post-secondary enrollment rate, and employment rate are all increasing, but they are all still, frankly, far too low. Too many students with disabilities are leaving school without the knowledge and skills they truly need to succeed. From Washington, we're working hard to ensure that we have the right policies and incentives in place to help states and districts and schools accelerate achievement for all students, including those with disabilities. This year, I'm working closely with Democrats and Republicans in Congress to fix the No Child Left Behind Act through the reauthorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act. We want to build upon what worked, but frankly, fix the many things that didn't work. We want the law to be fair, we want the law to be flexible, and we want it focused on the right goals. We want a law that ensures that all students are prepared for success in college and careers. High expectations must be the norm, not the exception. Our proposal will set a goal that all students graduate high school ready to succeed in college and in careers. We want to make sure that students with disabilities are included in all aspects of ESEA and to continue to measure achievement gaps and work with a real sense of urgency to close those gaps. We want to align ESEA with the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act so that we can create one seamless system that addresses the needs of each child. Under our proposal, our blueprint, students with disabilities will continue to be full participants in accountability systems. One thing NCLB did right was hold schools accountable for all students and highlight the achievement gaps between subgroups of students. We absolutely want to continue to do that. But NCLB failed to measure growth. If students start the year 2 grade levels behind, and through excellent teaching and strong supports, progress so much that at the end of the year, they're just one grade level behind. Their teacher and their school historically has been labeled a failure instead of a success. That is wrong. That is wrong, and it is both inaccurate and demoralizing. When we're seeing great growth, great gain, that is not failure. We need to learn from those extraordinary teachers, those extraordinary schools, what they're doing right, and we need to take their hard work to scale. Our accountability system will be based mostly on student growth. Schools and districts and states where students are showing large gains in learning over the course of the school year will be rewarded. Under NCLB, it seemed like there are about 50 ways to fail, very few ways to succeed. That has to change.